Hi everyone, welcome to this week's 10 Things list. Harley's back with us.
I'm back.
And she hasn't watched a lot of these Star Trek movies.
I've only watched the new ones.
I said, you know what I'll do for you, Harley? I'm going to rank the Star Trek movies as the way I like them, so you'll know if you really want to watch one, what you can expect.
Yes.
So that's this week's 10 Things movie, the non-Star Trek fan ranking Star Trek films, and the crews out there are probably going to be like killing me by the end of it. So, non-Star Trek fans. All right, we're going to kick it off with number 10, which is Into Darkness. Man, this film got a lot of hate, but it wasn't too terribly bad for the new Reboot universe. I thought,
it also went up against Suicide Squad for makeup and lost.
So number 10 is Into Darkness. I think I think they rebooted too much. Instead of doing something original, I would like to see something more original, but I liked him as Khan. Yeah, I know you can't. And then they did the whole reverse death scene, so it was a little cheesy, but it's still kind of fun to watch Spock go beat him up at the end because that's just kind of fun.
Anything watching Spock beat anybody up is funny.
All right, so number 9 on our list is Star Trek Generations. Now, I put this one on because I think you have to. There's no way to really transition between the universes. So they said, okay, let's have Kirk trapped in some void with crazy guy from... I keep wanting to say he looks like Bowser from the Mario Brothers movie, but I forget what his name is.
Malcolm McDowell.
Malcolm McDowell, thank you, Pocky. that's how on bar with this is. Yeah. And so it's kind of gimpy, but it was nice to be able to hand the thing out. And Kirk went out like a bitch in that movie. I'm not even gonna lie, but you're gonna enjoy that one just because of the sheer absurdity of it. Not as much as number 8, which is The Voyage Home, where we're time traveling to save whales.
Whales? Why whales?
Because whales can save the future, apparently.
Okay. Is that one of those so long and thanks for all the fish moments?
Yeah, kind of. They have to travel back to the 80s and they invent things that are existing in the future because maybe they invented them and they save whales. And they fly to the future with a giant log in space. I can't even say this with a straight face, Carly. Like, it's literally
it's like pumpkin spice day.
All right. Not quite as bad as our number 7, which is Star Trek Nemesis. Interesting idea. Kind of poorly executed because young, angsty, emo Picard as a bad guy just doesn't really work for me. But it's still kind of fun to watch because there's lots of great action scenes and there's the core of something amazing there. You can see that they had the idea, but
it went far left field.
What can we possibly do after they took on God? Emo Picard.
He's the new Kylo Ren.
Exactly. It's lots of fun to watch. But, man, it's just not really up there. This is where they're kind of hammering the nails in the Next Generation universe.
We're running out of ideas. Let me just pull something out of a hat now.
So, running out of ideas, we'll go back to the original universe for this next one. Next on the list is Undiscovered Country. The reason I picked this one especially is because my biggest problem with Star Trek is it's too perfect. And this is one of those movies that started showing there's cracks in the system. So it's lots of fun to watch, kind of a darker take on the Federation and the Klingons and things that happen. So if you really want like a good intrigue movie, this is a really good one to log into.
Just want the darkness here.
But
just throw that out there.
That goes with the next one, which is Insurrection, which is in the Next Generation timeline. And it's kind of the same thing. The Federation's got cracks in the system. But don't get too attached to it because in the next movie, everything's back to normal.
Back to being perfect.
Back to being perfect. They set up the perfect flaw. And they just, oops, we forgot we wrote that, basically.
Hang on, let me throw that far left field, and you're going to ignore that ever happened.
Yeah, but I like Insurrection. It's lots of fun to see the Federation and its flaws, and that, to me, is more approachable than the Utopian universe, which is my whole problem with Star Trek to begin with.
Because they're so perfect and pretty.
So the next up is, I put this because it's my mom's favorite. She made me watch it all the time, is Search for Spock. What happens when you kill one of the most favorite characters and it's not a comic book movie? Well, let's find a way to resurrect him because that was, I think D-Boy was like, I'm done with 2. And then like, no, you contracted for 3. So it was like, okay.
So Spock is becoming, in this movie, Spock is Wolverine.
Kind of. It's a whole Genesis thing, and they have to go save him from the planet, and for a resurrection story, it's pretty fun. Not a whole lot happens, but it's still pretty fun to watch them try to revive a character that they're like, oops, maybe we shouldn't have killed off anyways. Didn't work for Optimus Prime, it's not going to work for Spock. Which takes me to number 3, the new Star Trek movie. I love the reboot. I don't know anyone who really doesn't like it. Even the only problem my mom had, because she's such a diehard original fan, was that Spock and Uhura were going out. If that's the only thing I know as a diehard fan, I see the eyes gazing at me from out there. I don't know if they're daggers or they're like, yes.
I think they're glaring at us.
It's fun. It brings it to where
set phasers to kill.
Set phasers
they were
to kill.
Hot.
It's set a new tone for Star Trek that really brought it into a modern day where people can approach it, because we're ruined by Star Wars. Let's face facts. We like our strife.
I like the hardship
there. Which then goes to my personal favorite, First Contact. I love the Borg. I don't know if I've said that enough.
Yeah, you said it a couple times.
I love the Borg, and this was a great movie. It involved time travel and going back to when First Contact happened with, Farmer Hoggett, which will always be, that'll do, pig. I don't care what he's in. I hear that in my mind everywhere, so I expect him at the end, setting the rocket off, going over, that'll do, pig. That's all I wanted. Of course, they didn't do it. But it's fun because you get to see a lot of the Borg. They introduced the Borg Queen, a bunch of the way the Borg works. They brought back up Locutus because that was my favorite story arcs, because I was a Next Generation junkie. It was fun. Yeah, they relied on time travel to be a silly plot device, but you get the Borg fight on the ship. You get them trying to make First Contact happen on the planet because Farmer Hoggett is a drunk douche. That's really the best way I can put that one. But we're going to go with number 1, and if anyone argues with me on this one, I know you're not a Star Trek fan. Wrath of Khan. Hands down, if you're going to watch a Star Trek movie, watch that one, because you don't have to know anything about Star Trek, because I did it, and you completely get what's going on. And it is the original Khan, who is much better than old boy.
Cumberbatch.
I can't even.
Who is it?
Cumberbatch.
Cumberbatch,
yeah. So much better.
Benedict?
But if you want to see a way a movie's done properly, like a true, the first Star Trek movie is so god awful, then you get this amazing piece of work that ties into Search for Spock, and then you go back into Crazyville. It's like, okay, this is why we love Star Wars. But, so what did you think of my list? That was my list of movies.
I think your list is a lot easier to follow.
Just going down. If you really want to watch them, start with Wrath of Khan and work your way up from there. So, that's been it for this 10 things list. Up next, just for Harley.
Just for me.
Is a special bonus level. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back to wrap up the show after this.